All right, I'm gonna give you a little second. All right, boom. Hello, world. Welcome back to the No Suit Sports Podcast. We are your hosts. I'm Chris. It's my boy Spin. And we got another one for you. Championship weekend. You know how we do. Ooh, man, that was a good one. We're gonna start off with had to be during championship weekend. It had to be some type of drama inflicted. Tom Brady. Supposedly he kind of recanted, but supposedly retired after what 23 seasons or something of that nature.
20, I think it was 22.
22. All right, 22
long time
seasons.
Either way.
Too long, you know what I mean? We're gonna address this topic, this aspect of the topic first. How do you think, or what do you think about Tom Brady, overall?
Man, I think Tom Brady the GOAT. To me, as quarterback, I don't think he's the best football player ever, but as far as being a quarterback, I think that he is the best quarterback ever. I mean, he got 7 rings. He dominated, football for my whole football watching life so far. You know what I mean? Like, not my whole life, but ever since I can remember, Tom Brady has been winning Super Bowls. And whatever the reason may be, it may not have always been because of Tom Brady, but also, I mean, he's winning. He's always on the winning side, and that's something I gotta respect. So, hats off to Tom Brady. We're gonna see if he do the Brett Favre thing and 1 foot in, 1 foot out. We're gonna see how that go. But we losing a legend, but I think the game is in good hands. I think the game is in capable hands moving forward. So I think that we'll be okay. But I mean, I won't even say it's sad to see him go because he's accomplished everything. Like, there's nothing football related that he needs to accomplish. So I don't even think it's a sad thing. We just got to see if it's a true thing. What you think?
Well put, my man. Well put. I agree. I think it would probably be a little bit sadder seeing these legends go like Peyton, Breeze, Tom, and then Aaron Rodgers next. I think it'll be a sadder thing if we didn't have these young great quarterbacks like a Pat Mahomes, Joe Burrow. These dynamic quarterbacks that pushing the game forward, and you're probably going to break records that people didn't think was going to be broken anytime soon. So I think the game's in good hands. It's crazy to think about though, because like you said, for our whole football watching life, we've watched these players dominate for a long time, and it's like, well, dang, they really gone now. Tom, look, regardless of the reasons, like you said, he is the greatest. Regardless of the reasons, and man, may be lucky, but when luck be preparation, look, what can you do with it?
Heck yeah.
Like you said,
you can't do that. Yeah, you can't do that. I used to be trying to do that, like be like, man, no, it ain't his. Now you still tell the truth.
Right.
Now, when they won a Super Bowl 13-3 against the Rams a couple years ago, that was not because of Tom Brady. But Tom Brady does get the credit because he could have went out there and tried to make it about him, made mistakes, and put the Rams in a position where they could get a touchdown. They could make the game close. You can't you can't mess the game up. Trying to stop cussing. You can't mess the game up. And so I feel like you have to give people credit for doing enough to win. If I know I got a good defense, I know I got a good running game, I know I got a good coach. Yeah. Is it not smart for me to just do this as opposed to fight against it? Like, nah, do it my way, even though I got a great defense, a great coach, great special teams. I know a playoff, they special teams. I know they special teams captain. So they got a great special team. Hey, bro, just play in pocket. Just stay where you're supposed to be. That's a part of being great. Like, not knowing when you need to be great and knowing when, hey, we've already won. Why do I need to go out and throw for 400 yards?
Yeah, for sure. I think a lot of people, especially quarterbacks, they get in this egotistic type of mindset where they want the accolades to be about them. They want to win their way. They want to do these different things when it's like, all you really want to do is win, regardless of how you sound. All you want to do is win. Tom got 7 as a person. He has the most Super Bowls over any team. You know what I mean? Like, how as a person you have more Super Bowls than any team ever?
That's wild.
You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, maybe what this guy is doing is correct, regardless of how it looks, regardless of if it is because of him or because of whatever. He's doing something right. He's putting his team in these positions and different things of the sort.
Exactly.
So that's all you
Gotta
really
have
got.
hats off to him.
Got to, man. But on the contrary, the second part of the topic that we have, when we break down the numbers, what we like to do on the No Suit Sports podcast, we look up and look at the percentage of playoff wins without having a top 10 defense. Without. So how many times they won without? Mahomes won 100% of the times without a top 10 defense. Peyton won 78.6% of the times without a top 10 defense. Breeze, 77.8. Aaron Rodgers, 54.5. And then you get to Tom Brady. Then you get to Tom. It's 11.8 of percent of his playoff wins without a top 10 defense. Let's tell the truth. You know, we gave Maz his accolades. Now let's tell the truth. How do you what do you feel about it?
Shit, on that one, that's a tough stat. Now I do know sometimes stats are misleading because I know that Peyton Manning, you know, and then Drew Brees. Well, I can't speak for Drew Brees, but I can speak for Peyton Manning for sure. Because I was a fan of the Colts and Peyton Manning for a while, and they didn't have a top 10 defense a lot of times. So he had more opportunities without a top 10 defense. Watching the Patriots, they always had a top 10 defense. So he always going to go into the playoffs with a top 10. Same thing with Drew Brees. Now, Aaron Rodgers is the outlier because he looked like he 50-50. Like sometimes your defense is good, sometimes it's not. And it doesn't seem like it matters because, you know what I mean? He 50-50. But with Drew Brees and Peyton Manning, they weren't blessed to have good defenses. So I do think that stat is like, obviously, you know, you never have a good defense. So anytime you win, it goes into your category. With Tom Brady, it was like, you know, you always have a good defense. So the off chance that you don't, as soon as you lose, it's the only one in that category. So it outlies the stats. But at the same time, I do think that Peyton Manning and Drew Brees in those type of situations would have done similar things. You know, I ain't gonna say that they would have won all the Super Bowls because that's just disrespectful. Because he did have to do that. You know, it's one thing to say it, it's another thing to do it. So I ain't gonna say that, but I do think it would have been a similar outcome. Like they would have then been the GOAT, you know, if they were in that position because they are just as talented, if not more talented. They can do everything on the field. Like that's just my opinion, but I do give them credit for that. And I think the stat might be a little misleading, but I will have to look into it some more.
I think the misleading aspect is the point of the stat, though. You really think about it because, yeah, he don't have more opportunities to do it, but you know that's the whole sake of the argument. Why it's like, well, god dang, you had a top 10 defense all this time. Just give it to me a handful of times and see what I could do with it. You know what I mean?
But he did it though. It'd be different if you got a top 10 defense and then you're not winning the Super Bowl. You got a top 10 defense, you cashing it in. So that's where you got to give him credit.
Is the defense cashing it in?
But that's the thing. He's still a top. So if we're gonna say it's top 10 defense, that means it's 9 other ones.
Right.
Only one time he the only one to keep winning with it. It was 9 other top defenses that year as well. He the only one that came through cashing in. So you got to give him credit for cashing it in.
No, for sure.
That's still hard too.
I definitely give him credit for it. I'm just in relation to the other three. Well, not Aaron Rodgers. I don't care what excuses people always giving. You know, he be having defenses, he be having players, and it's always, can Aaron Rodgers get some help? Shut up. Aaron Rodgers. Shut up. I think they be trying to paint the narrative in these others sports shows and everything that they want Aaron Rodgers to be.
Mic.
They want Aaron Rodgers to be this great because he's so talented, you know what I mean? But on the contrary, it's because he is great, but you can't try to give him the same accolades as Tom Brady because Tom have the same pieces, but he gonna go win it versus Aaron Rodgers. He don't. That's what
exactly.
You know what I mean? But the Drew and the Peyton thing is like what could have been. But like I said, when luck meet preparation, you got to handle business.
Because I want to say whenever the Colts end up finally making it to the Super Bowl. I think they did have a good defense that year.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all had a good defense when y'all won the Super Bowl. Y'all actually caught a pick six to win the Super Bowl. So we get them to a good defense. It's going to be in trouble. They going to end up playing each other in the Super Bowl. Somebody had to lose.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
So,
but
yeah.
It is,
salute him.
Yeah,
he ain't going back to Tampa for sure.
Nah, he can't. He can't. I mean, I don't think he'll do the Brett Favre thing. I think he'll either go back to Tampa or just go ahead and call it quits.
In that case, I think he's calling it quits.
Yeah, I feel the same, but I think that because the media stole that from him, he might. You know what? Let me do it one more time.
They team ain't like that no more. You think
No,
he'll go back and run it back like that?
Nah, it's not. It's not like that. Especially because they have so many free agents and everything. It's not like that. I didn't think it was like that this year. They just, you know how things go.
They caught some breaks. They caught some breaks in their division with a lot of injuries and dissension. Well, really just y'all, to be honest. Every quarterback y'all put in got hurt. Or hurt me to watch them. One of the two.
One of the two.
Jameis got hurt. Taysom got hurt. Then Simeon came in and it hurt me to have to watch him.
Hey, that's hilarious. But man, I think if he do go back, it's not going. I mean, he could, look, I still got it because I haven't seen Tom Brady. I'm trying to remember throw as many touchdowns in his career ever. Besides that year with Randy Moss, I think he had like 50. But these last two was, I think, the most touchdowns he's thrown in his career. So, I mean, of course, he have crazy talent. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about like unbelievable talent. But hey,
he ain't going back. He can't go. He can't go back over there because it's about winning. He like to win, and they ain't finna win. Not in that division. The AFC used to be kind of weak, but the AFC done got. I mean, the NFC. I'm tripping. The NFC used to be kind of weak for him. He used to get to the Super Bowl, run through whatever NFC team is. But when you actually in the NFC and you got to beat all of them, you got to beat all of them. And then when you get to the Super Bowl, you might have to go against, segueing into our next game, Joe Burrow or Patrick Mahomes. Man, them youngsters ain't playing, man. This was a great game, 27-24. Bengals going to the Super Bowl. And the Bengals been balling, bro. What you? I know you loving it. I'm loving it too. We got some Oklahoma boys out on the Bengals team, so I'm liking it. What you thinking?
Man, Joe Burrow, you hear me? Oh, dog, we didn't think that he was ready. I still don't believe they were quite ready to eclipse getting a Super Bowl. But hey, it's one game. Anything can happen. You get there, anything can happen.
They can win this game.
They can win this game. And that's the crazy thing about it. I love seeing that it's the Bengals versus the Rams. It's like two teams that don't have, a crazy history of winning. That just transform. Rams another whole nother story. But the Bengals, just how they change in such a quick time, still probably don't have all the pieces, but it's like, we talented. We trying to win this thing. We just beat Patrick Mahomes. I was thoroughly surprised, I'm not gonna lie, from a defensive effort, because the defense first half, they didn't look that good. You know what I mean? And to only limit to, I think it was 3 points the whole second half. Patrick Mahomes and that Kansas City defense team, 3 points, bro. I gotta give kudos to them, give kudos to Joe and what they were able to put together, especially, a little protection. He didn't get, I don't believe he got sacked. One time. And the defense was the one doing, like, for the Bengals defense, was hitting on Patrick. On Patrick. So it was like, hey, they came out ready to play. I wanted to see, Pat go to the 3 back to back. Probably went 2 in 3 years, but hey, I'm glad this Bengals team, just rolling. What you think?
Me too. Yeah, I'm liking what they doing. The Bengals, like you said, they defense been balling last week. First of all, we got to give credit to the Bengals because the Bengals ran up against the number 1 seed and the number 2 seed beat them both at their crib. So the Bengals deserve this. So don't nobody go in here thinking, the Bengals lucky to have made it. No, the Bengals can win the Super Bowl. Like, come out there playing, the Bengals will win the Super Bowl. So I'm excited for the Bengals. I love what they did from a defensive perspective. Like I said, giving up 17 last week, giving up only 24 this week, and 3 in the second half. They balled out, caught 2 picks, had 4 sacks. I mean, you balling out. I don't know if Patrick Mahomes, sometimes when I watch him against people that I think that he thinks might be as good or better, he plays a different player, like a different player. Even if they not better, like historically, if he thinks they playing better than him right now, and he believes that they are as good, it be like that. Like when he was going against Jimmy G, no nut up, just he threw the same pass, actually. The one that the Bengals caught the pick on, it was the same play from the Super Bowl. That's probably how they caught the pick. Where Tyreek Hill ran in, then he cut back out. Same Tyreek Hill, same side of the field. That's probably how they caught the pick, now that I'm thinking about it. Film study. Y'all run this play in crunch time. It was crunch time in the Super Bowl. They end up converting. Crunch time now, and it ended up being a pick because. So Andy Reid, we talking about Andy Reid right now. Was that not the same exact play?
I think it was, but I gotta still put it on Pat because Pat is a phenomenal player. Pat can easily throw it 1,000 yards downfield, but could still take what the defense give him. He can, and while moving around, okay, let me buy time, okay. I'm getting my little 5-yard slant or my 5-yard drag or, my out route. He can do those things, but he did those things in the first half. That's why I'm so confused that I think, like you said, it's more of him getting in his own head. He get in his own head and it's like his whole game plan go south. What Mike Tyson said, everybody have a plan, you get hitting them out. So I think that they was in a similar position as like, okay, the Bengals are starting to roll. All right, we've seen these a couple weeks ago. We was up 11 points a couple weeks ago, and the same thing happened.
same exact thing. Joe B. I gotta take it back, man. I knew he was good. I didn't think he was trash. I didn't think he was this good.
Tell the people.
I'm gonna let them know. I didn't think he was this good, right? I didn't think he was this
coming
good.
Out of college. Now, y'all didn't know.
Yeah, coming out of college, I didn't think he was this good. But I do think Joe Burrow is Tom Brady-esque in the sense of, not in the sense of winning out the Super Bowl, but in the sense of just doing what you got to do to win. You know what I mean? He just, the defense is balling out. All I need to do is stay in pocket. I don't got to score 21 points in the third quarter. You know what I mean? I can come out in the third quarter. What they score? 11. You cutting into it, or I guess they was only down by 11. They cut into it, they got it tied, and he just kind of methodically got it down and ended up winning the game. But he didn't do anything spectacular, or he didn't have a great game, as far as the stat line go. All he did was win. Last week, same thing. He didn't, he didn't do anything amazing or anything like that. He just won. So I'm not going to come back and say that I think that he's, the next coming at this point, because if we gonna use the same logic we used on Brady, we're saying they defense been balling. I have to do it here as well. But I will concede and come back and say, shit, he way better than I thought he was gonna be.
I hear that, and I agree. Like you should do as a quarterback what you have to do to win. You know what I mean? Because
exactly
what I like about Tom Brady and a Joe Burrow in that similar comparison, not saying that, of course he's going to be that, is Joe Burrow, he can, okay, they giving me this. Y'all must forget I got my boy number 1 outside. I'll launch that thing. You know what I mean? But if you're not giving me that, you got him on a double team, safety over top, I will, go ahead and do what I have to do to win the game. So that's what I like. And what I want to say about my man as the last point, let me look in the camera. The player for UCF that looked down on my man Joe Burrow, we'll clip it in this. There's a picture of in the 2 years ago, like a year before we won the championship, right? In the Fiesta Bowl, I believe. Joe was on his knees and he was looking down at Joe Burrow, right? Like just looking at him like, yeah, what you about? ever since then, Joe went through having lost a game in college, going to the NFL and balling. That man created a monster, and I appreciate that. I
Yeah, maybe
appreciate
so.
that.
Hey, speaking of monsters,
What's
you
up?
got to walk back on that coach. You wanted that man fired.
I
That
did.
man in a Super Bowl. And been, I'm talking about the Bengals gave up what? 1 sack? Now, unless they got new linemen or unless Joe Burrow been putting some OT coaching them up, I got to say that the coach did a great job.
The coach, Zach Taylor, calling the plays, huh?
I don't know who Colin played, but he the head coach.
Man, I gotta give it. Whoever, if he's calling the plays, I'll take it back. Look,
But the defense, the whole team played great.
the defense, yeah, okay, I agree. I'll walk back a little bit
Against this team. Now, this the Chiefs, like giving up 20.
for sure.
You know, that's a great,
sure.
especially none in the second half.
Yeah,
Because you can't come back if they score one touchdown, you cannot come back.
Yeah,
or really, if they just convert when they was on the 2. Don't mind you at second in the halftime.
Yeah,
that was a stop.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I walk back what I said about Zach Taylor on it. He's done what he have to do as a head coach. You know what I mean? He's done what he have to do as a head coach. If they had a better head coach, I'm stop. These men in the Super Bowl, man. I love it.
I'm gonna say what they gonna do.
I love it.
They can't do nothing better. I mean, they could win it.
if they don't win it, they can win it. But
win it.
Man, we had a third round of San Francisco, LA Rams, NFC Championship. Rams pulled it out. Rams pulled it out 20-17 and scoring 13 points in the fourth quarter. San Francisco, I understand that hurt. Y'all. First and foremost, before I pass, y'all want to give a hats off to them and to you for saying this team is so dangerous. If you let them in the playoffs, they're gonna be dangerous. They match up well with anybody, like you've been preaching. Man, it's crazy to see they had this crazy lead heading into the fourth quarter over the Rams. But you know, if you don't finish it off, and the lead don't mean nothing. But how you feel about this Ram team?
I like what the Rams did. I really want to kind of focus on the Niners because they are a solid team, right? But I don't know if they came in with a good game plan offensively. Like defensively, the Niners gonna be able to play, with anybody. I don't know what they was doing in the secondary. But besides that, I think that they had a good scheme. I think that they just were going against better receivers. Cooper Kupp and Odell are better,
Sure.
than they got. So I give them a little bit of pass on that. But as far as the offense, I feel like they had a chance. Like, yeah, the Rams do have a really talented defense, but it don't always show up on the field. Like when you actually watch them on the field, you be like, all right, this the team with Aaron Donald, this the team with Von Miller, this the team with Jalen Ramsey. It sounds good, but sometimes it don't always look that way. But yesterday it looked good, and I think it's because of Jimmy G, man. I don't know, Jimmy G went 16 of 30. You know what I mean? Like, that's 50%, bro. Like, I mean, it's more than 50, technically, but that's 50%. Yeah. Like, what are you doing? Like, that means literally every other time is an incompletion. We can't win like that unless we go for it on fourth down.
No, I hear you. On this one, I'll have to, put a big portion on him. I think you do be hard on your man Jimmy, because I think I think he's a decent quarterback, and he wins. He wins, you know what I mean? But I feel like some moments like this, he makes some idiotic plays. Like, I think Stafford kind of do the same thing, except Stafford have way more talent. They're gonna keep putting the ball in his hands, so it's gonna, like, what, Stafford was 31 or 45. Jimmy G threw 30 passes. He threw 15 more. Both of them is crazy high, and it's only 17 to 20. But the thing is, Stafford gonna, of course, he still have a better receiving core, even though this receiving core is, Deebo Samuel and Ayuk is pretty good. So I have to put some of that on Garoppolo. We probably have seen our last Garoppolo in a San Francisco jersey, but it's like, hey, I don't understand from the standpoint of how you were saying as far as what they were doing offensively because it's like they had them figured out in the first half. It's like, okay, cool. And even defensively, now that I think about it, because San Fran was holding their own. They kept their receivers. You can only keep it so often, like so much. In the first half, they kept them contained for most part. But then
they did.
The fourth quarter come just like, you know what? Let's lax up. Like, bro, what are you doing? What are you doing?
I don't know what the hell they was doing because it was the fourth quarter. Y'all, all y'all got to do. I ain't gonna say all you got to do because that's pretty hard. But I ain't gonna say that.
I'm gonna say all you got to do is score at least 3. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
score 8 points.
But you got Jimmy G, and then the reason why I don't like they what you call is because Deebo Samuel only touched the ball 11 times. Like that's crazy. That's crazy. Like Deebo Samuel's touched the ball 11 times, and that's not gonna be enough because they got a good team. George Kittle only touched the ball 2 times. Like we can't win if we're not gonna get our best players the ball.
That's facts.
You know what I mean? Like you got Jimmy G back here trying to read.
That man's trying to read. I don't like that they gave Deebo Samuel the ball mostly on the ground either. I understand it, but still, if he gonna touch the ball 7 times with 7 on the ground, at least try to have about 9 completions to him. Give him force feed him if you have to, or if not, if he really is that covered, somebody should be open. Somebody should be open.
But no, Jimmy G missed some people. Yes, I'm talking about missed some people, and you just be like, now the only thing I will say while we is killing Jimmy G, I do think Jimmy G is their best option.
There you go. So at first you was advocating, you was like, let's see this Jordan Love. I was like, bro, why? Because when we think about it, it's like, why? First of all, why did they go up and get him particularly? But I do want to see some, man succeed. Anybody succeed, but it's like, what did y'all see to go ahead and just jump up? What did he come out? North Dakota State that we came from? Like, what did y'all see?
I don't know what they seen. I wanted to, like I said, I know Jimmy G. I knew Jimmy G wasn't the answer, but I didn't know if Trey Lance was. So I'm like, all right, let's see.
Trey Lance.
Trey Lance. Yeah, I'm like, shit, let's see. So we seen Trey Lance, and then I realized, all right, unless he gets really, really good over the offseason, he probably ain't the answer either. So they really just don't have an answer at all. Maybe they could put Debo at quarterback. He can go 16 to 30, bro.
I mean, probably not. I ain't gonna select the quarterbacks like that, man. The defense was a kill Debo on just combo coverage and just making them think that. Because think about it, unless they just running a wildcat, he's not gonna throw the ball 30 times. If he do, about 5 of them gonna be picks.
I don't believe it. If Jimmy G only threw 1 pick, Debo only good for 2.
See, that's the disrespect that we talking
that
about.
Is all right. Not my bad. Jimmy G not that bad. Jimmy G not that bad. He just, I mean, like he be in situations where everything is right.
Yeah.
And he still be wrong. Remember that what we said about Tom Brady? Like Tom Brady had all this everything go right, but he cashed it in.
He cashed in.
Jimmy G got it going right too. He just can't cash it in.
What I do like about the Trey Lance situation, though, if that's who Kyle Shanahan wanted, Kyle Shanahan is a crazy good coach. So he can orchestrate the offense around, to make him at least fit his needs. So I think
Kyle Shanahan, what?
He's a good coach. He not a good coach to you?
You said a crazy good coach.
As far as the offensive mind, yeah. You don't think so?
I don't think so. No.
You don't think he's a good
I think he's a good coach. I think he's a good coach. Damn. But so they needed 3 points yesterday when he scored.
That's true. I can't argue.
Same thing in the Super Bowl when he had with Atlanta. Same thing in the Super Bowl with the 49ers. He's a good coach, but I think these are also good team. Like this is a really good team with the 49ers. Mm-hmm. When he had Atlanta, that was a really good team with Atlanta. And every time they're in a situation where like, hey, coach, we need you to draw something up. It ain't never drew up. But I do think he's a good coach. I think he's solid. I like the 49ers, but I ain't about to just give him no credit and call him a crazy good coach.
All right, that's cool.
Especially if we was talking about Zach Taylor being fired. Right, come on, bro. We can't do that.
the thing is, we go back to your first point. One have Jimmy Garoppolo and one have that man, Joe Burrow.
One don't have nothing else but that man. Like he got that man at who better? Who got a better team? He got that man. He got
Jamar Chase,
Jamar Chase.
Come on, bro.
And Joe Mixon from time to time.
This dude, yeah.
And I love Joe Mixon.
Joe Mixon did this thing this year.
Who got a better team? Who got a better team?
San Francisco. They got a better team.
And it's not close.
And I don't think it's close as far as winning wise for Jimmy Garoppolo and Joe Burrow. I feel like if you put 1-1 in the situation, Joe's going to capitalize. If you give Kyle Shanahan to Joe Burrow, which he still shouldn't need that since he has such a good team, but if that's the case, I feel like he would capitalize. But that's what I'm saying. That's why I was really going with it though, because if he really wanted the Trey Lance, I'll walk it back and say the crazy good coach. He's a good coach. I think he's a good offensive mind. But if he really wanted that man, Trey Lance, then he should be able to orchestrate. We're gonna see next year if things come out, orchestrate something. If they come out and just be trash, I'm like, okay, man, look, you're not that guy. As far as Kyle Shanahan, you're really not that guy.
Yeah, he a good coach. He a good solid coach. It go back to what I said when on that podcast when I said you got the guy, you got a guy, and you still looking for a guy. I mean, it's true. You can have a person to do it. Kyle Shanahan is a coach. He's a good coach. He's a good coach, but he's not the coach.
You know what I
mean? Joe Burrow is the quarterback.
And what is Jimmy Garoppolo?
They still looking for a guy.
That's my point. That's what I'm saying. But if he did, because I don't care what Trey Lance is skill wise, whatever, if it was that he went to the GM and like, look, that's the person I want, then that still falls on him. You know what I mean? If that's who he thinks the guy is in your terms, then that falls on him. And it's like we have to really question, like, okay, this who you wanted. I'm not gonna say next season. I'll give you a little time. But is this the person you wanted? And he looking like, say he looked like Marcus Russell or something. Like, bro, you ain't what you say you was. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they not gonna be bad. That's the thing about the Niners and Kyle Shanahan. They're not gonna be a bad team because they have a good offensive line and they have a good defensive line. Like, you know what I mean? Y'all got when you right there, they got good linebackers as well. Mm-hmm. When you have a good, front on offense and defense, yeah, you good. Like your team is gonna be solid. So I think that like Kyle Shanahan gonna get a lot of credit and shit like that, but they ain't doing nothing but running the ball, bro. To be honest with you, like I'll see it ain't. They just running the ball. I mean, like niggas be making it seem like Kyle Shanahan got these niggas out here scoring 40 points a game, 50 points. That doesn't happen. And I like Kyle Shanahan, but we got to tell the truth. That's not happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're running the ball because they have a good front seven. I mean, a good line.
I hear you.
Niggas they're just running the ball.
I hear you. I mean, I hear you. I hear you. I'll give you that, but enough of these losers. We'll capture that another time. What you think about what the Rams did? How they like the trajectory? I mean, they getting everybody and paying everybody to play. This is what they wanted. You know what I mean? How do you feel about them as far as that crazy 4-quarter performance?
Man, I liked it. I liked what I saw. I didn't like that they was in that situation. Yeah. To put themselves in that situation. But I like what I seen because I didn't know if Matt Stafford had it in him. And he showed me that he do. Granted, the receivers stepped up big time. Like Cooper Kupp and Odell, like they went and did the full. I don't know what coverage they start like running and why they start running it. But they shouldn't have. But I like what the Rams did. I think the Rams put themselves in a situation. They got a home Super Bowl, and they put themselves in a situation to go out and execute. One thing that I'm concerned about with the Rams is that I don't know how to really put what I'm trying to say. I think that the Rams overestimate themselves or are overly confident because they do have all these good players, and they got all of them, but they can come back at any time. So they down, but they have the confidence to say, all right, we could come back on them. I don't know if they can do that against the Bengals. Like after watching the Bengals play, the Bengals do be falling behind, right? And they have to come back. But I think if the Bengals go up, I ain't too sure because I don't think you're gonna be able to just come back on them like that because they could keep scoring. Like they so young, they don't have no conscience about it. Like you seen
Right.
Patrick Mahomes, he got up 21, that something bad happened, and then they kind of threw their team off.
Right.
Something bad happened to them the whole first half, to the Bengals I'm talking about.
And they
Whole
just gave
first
it up.
half. Joe walking in this mud, chilling, sitting on the sideline, just chilling. Next thing I know, they winning. They going to the Super Bowl. Hey, bro, what's going on? And this nigga Joe monotone, yeah, we did a great job. And
My
going to the
man
Super
Joe.
Bowl.
My man
I
Joe.
hate to be against that man.
My man Joe put the only thing that I feel like the Bengals what could be their kryptonite is their offensive line, and what is the Rams one of their stronger points, their D line. So I think with that aspect,
Is it?
I think it is because even if the 49ers game, this is we gotta take it effect. It's a third time playing. A third time.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, we're gonna scheme a little bit, even though we might have not seen Von Miller like that. We can scheme for Aaron Donald just a little bit because we have a decent line, as you was just saying. So
Let me see what they
the
share.
the Bengals don't. They don't. Even though against the Chiefs, they kind of figured it out, but there's only so much you could do for a team that you haven't seen. Aaron Donald's a monster. And then got a Von Miller, and the rest of the line is decent. So it's like, I don't know, Joe might it might get behind them. It really might get behind them. That's the only thing I'm fearful of. I think I do agree about what you were saying with the almost they getting ahead of themselves. They get ahead of themselves, and it's like they start playing wacky a little bit as far as the Rams go. Like even from the coach, from the play calling, everything. I was like, what are y'all doing? And then they find their rhythm. So I think it's gonna be an interesting matchup.
Oh yeah, I do too. Are we gonna pick or are we gonna wait to the Pro Bowl? Because I think I already know who. Even everything I just said, I think I know who I'm going
with. We can wait. We'll let the people wait.
Little teaser.
Little teaser.
Little teaser. Little teaser. I like the Rams though. I like what they did. They got a home Super Bowl. They were resilient. I ain't know if Matt Stafford had it in them, but I'm torn in this one because you know what Leonard always say: no quarterback named Matt will win the Super Bowl. I mean, they can go.
Hey, he might have to recant because Matt Stafford, like I'm glad because I think we had this discussion like before the season. He was like, you don't know if you really believe in Stafford. I was like, I do. Stafford, the Lions are a terrible organization. The Rams was like that at first before they got Sean McVay, and we saw how crazy it turned around with the same players having a Jared Goff. And like, how does man look so good under him and so bad under him? Lions, I hate for Lions fans, I'm sorry. They are a terrible organization, top to bottom. So seeing Matthew Stafford in a good situation, I love to see because we see a lot of times where these players' talent just go to waste. Megatron, it's like imagine Megatron with a crazy, a better team. So, hey,
yeah,
Stafford might do it, but we gonna wait on that.
We gonna see that saying alone got me torn between who I'm gonna pick, bro, because it's true. Like Matt Ryan was up 28-3 in the Super Bowl. Matt Ryan was.
Matt Ryan. Come on, man. I can't believe in no Matt Ryan.
But why would I believe in Matt Stafford? Same guy.
You think that is wow? Man, you just gave man praise like I didn't think he had it in him. He did it, but then gonna say he the same as Matt Ryan? That is disrespectful.
What's different? I mean, Matt Ryan's actually better, but what's different? I mean, the same guys in like they get you pretty much the same thing. I think whatever the Rams record was this year would have been the same if you put Matt Ryan in in his prime. Not this year, Matt Ryan.
I'm talking about prime.
If you put a prime Matt Ryan would have been the same thing.
The only reason I say that because that mental. Even though Matthew Stafford makes stupid mistakes, he will bounce back. Matt Ryan will play into it, almost like a Russell Westbrook. He'll play into his weakness. Dang, and it starts almost affecting them. Like
I'm talking about the best Matt Ryan and the best Matthew Stafford are the same player. I'm talking about the best for best. If you give me your best Matt Stafford and I give you the best Matt Ryan, you'll get the same outcome.
I feel where you're going with it. I feel where you're going. We're going to see. That's one
I
thing.
think they're interchangeable. That's what I'm saying. I think they're interchangeable. And either way, you can't say that we're going to see in this one because he went against the best comeback artist ever. Matt Ryan did.
I don't care what. Hey,
Matt Stafford. But I'm saying you can't compare them just straight up. You're going to have to actually look at it and see. You know what I mean? But, I mean, even if Matt Stafford wins, then I'll say that he's better than Matt Ryan, even though I think that you'll get them. They give you the same thing.
I hear you, but at the same time, 28-3, bro. 28-3, bro. Come on, man. Come on, man.
He was there to do it. You got to be there to lose 28-3.
I don't care what you gotta be. I would rather not. Me personally, if we up 28-3 in the Super Bowl and then lose, I would rather not be there. I don't need.
No.
You would rather be there?
Yeah, I would rather be in the Super Bowl than not in the Super Bowl.
I'm good. I'm good on that.
Oh,
20
no.
To lose in dramatic fashion. I'm good. I don't.
Oh no, I'm still going. You don't want to go?
Not like that. If I could see into the future, like, okay, if you go, that's what's gonna happen. I'm good. I don't need to go.
Oh no, I'm going. So what would be your alternative? So it's not like one game go to the Super Bowl. You still play the whole season, went through the playoffs. So That's what I'm saying. That's how I'm thinking about it.
I feel you. I'm good.
At what point would you say you good? So they show you at what game do they show you that game 1 in the playoffs? When do they show you this preview?
It could be the NFC Championship, and they're like, look, if y'all win this game, this is what's gonna happen in the Super Bowl.
So then you would lose the NFC Championship game.
I'm good. Let me go ahead and have.
Now you seeing how this don't make no sense.
I'm good.
The more and more we talking about it, you seeing.
I'm good.
So a loss is a loss. So you got to lose anyway, is what you're saying.
I'm saying in that type of fashion where it's like that I don't know, bro. That's just too much. Too much for me to handle. Too much for me to handle. I'm good.
You realize you have to lose anyway. Like it's not like we could go or we don't have to go. No, you have to lose to not go. You see what I'm saying?
I feel you.
So you would intentionally lose to avoid just getting beat.
I'm point shaving. I'm about to just collect on Vegas. I'm doing whatever tonight.
This man wild, y'all. And they say he'd rather intentionally lose than try to win.
I'm playing, but that hurt, dog. That hurt has to hurt. Thinking because in the scheme of things, you're in the locker room, second half, anything, it's like we about to win this. It's crazy. We just, the time is the only barrier. And then you don't win it. Like, what? Oh, man.
Right. Texting at halftime, texting your wife.
You know what I'm saying? Are we really about to do this? I waited my whole life for this. From Pop Warner to high school, college. This is crazy. And it goes like that.
Left. I mean, we gonna see. Like I said, I'm still gonna stick with it. They are the same. They're the same guy. Not much difference in them. They just play in two different places. That's it.
We definitely
a lot of these guys be the same person at quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, your situation is such a determining factor. Because if Tom Brady wasn't in New England, he wouldn't be who Tom Brady is. And I feel like you can replace him, like for the people that we talked about a little bit earlier in the podcast. Replace him, it probably give you similar outcomes. Not going to disrespect it, it'll give you 7, but it will give you similar outcomes. And hey, that's not their fault. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it ain't their fault. But like I said, they the same, they similar guy. I shouldn't say same. I should say similar. Like Brady, Breeze, and Manning, they're similar guys. They damn near the same guy.
And we're leaving out Aaron Rodgers on purpose.
Oh yeah, I did not forget. Nah, we gonna have to do it. We gonna have to do a thing over that one because, like me and you always talk about, like we know Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, they above. But when people just will laugh at you by saying Drew Brees and Aaron Rodgers, and if you pick Drew Brees, they'll think you crazy, and it's like, why you think that?
Hey, we're gonna have to do some
what makes you think
on
that?
it. What are you driving at?
Drew Brees got just as many records. Like we gonna y'all stay tuned. We gonna do that.
We're gonna do that for the people. But we're excited to see this outcome. We got the Bengals versus the Rams in the Super Bowl in a couple weeks. In a couple
That's
weeks.
crazy.
It is crazy. We were excited about it. We appreciate y'all for tuning in with the No Suit Sports podcast with your boys. You know where to catch us at favorite streaming platforms, Instagram, TikTok, everywhere, YouTube. Oh man, you feel man, and we out.
We out of there.